Welcome back. A plaque remembering members of the Hindu community who perished at sea while being evacuated from Gibraltar during the Second World War will be unveiled at the lobby of Parliament on Armistice Day. This was announced this week at an event celebrating the 80th anniversary of the Alwani Group. It was a landmark night for the Alwani Group with noted dignitaries which included the Governor, Sir James Dutton, the Chief Minister, as well as Deputy Leader of the GSD opposition, Damon Bossino, as well as, of course, prominent members of the Hindu community. Chairman Kishan Alwani said he wanted the victims of the evacuation tragedy to be remembered. He also spoke of not only the company's long history, but that of the Hindu community's long association with Gibraltar.
Because my father, when he started the business in 1934, he started as selling goods which were only allowed to be sold under trade restriction ordinance, which were Oriental bazaar things. And slowly we started changing the products, and now we are in electronics, and all the people in Gibraltar, they know us for buying cameras and electronic products.
He also thanked the many staff over the years who have worked hard and contributed to its continued success, and spoke of the changing times and how the company has had to adapt.
Well, it's a changing world, and we have to change according to the business as it changes. At the moment, a lot of people are buying online their products. Therefore, we have started a website, and we are trying to sell online, but also we have to be very active in getting new products.
In his speech, the Chief Minister said he saw not just Hindus and Gibraltarians, but one community.
And if I may say so, because all of us are bilingual in this group, or most of us, certainly. Aquí no hay indio, aquí hay llanito. And that, I think, is what inspires us to see this wider community in the generosity through which Kishan Alwani and the Alwani Foundation see the wider community and the donations that they've made tonight.
Long-standing Alwani Group employees were also recognized last night. Meanwhile, last night saw the launch of a book detailing the history of the Alwani Group as well as the history of the Hindu community in Gibraltar, stretching back some 150 years. The book, titled A Quiet Voice That Would Be Heard, has been researched and written by Richard Garcia.
Mr. Alwani told me that he wanted to mark the 80th anniversary of the Alwani Group in a permanent way. I hope that you enjoy the book and that it indeed becomes a permanent testimony of the arrival, development and growth of the Alwani business and also of the Indian community at Gibraltar at large. Kishan Alwani's voice, like that of his father Ladron before him, has been a quiet voice, but it has been heard.
And the Alwani Trust and Alwani Foundation, the charitable arm of the Alwani Group, presented over £20,000 spread across various charities. These included Clubhouse Gibraltar, Prostate Cancer Gibraltar, Research into Childhood Cancer, Gibraltar Alzheimer's and Dementia Support Group, Gibraltar Hearing Impaired and Tinnitus Association, the GBC Open Day, and Gib Art Gallery, as well as monies going out to Ambrose Avellano and Shital Virumal. The Gibraltar Health Authority and Unite the Union announced they'd reached an agreement to regularise the position of a number of GHA staff members who complained their employment rights were being infringed because they were only being offered short-term contracts. In a joint statement, the GHA and Unite said indefinite contracts would from now on be offered to all contract workers except those whose post someone is already receiving training. Stephen Nish asked Unite's convener in the GHA, Marilyn Bramble, what specifically the agreement entails.
What was agreed was that the 2-week breaks that have been taken to basically impede that the contract workers ever reach their 4 years full service has now been removed. It will be respected, reimbursed and treated as no break in service, which effectively makes it able for them to reach their 4-year service and get their permanent contracts.
Well, these are mainly nurses that are affected. How many, in fact?
I believe there's a collective of about 90, but obviously each person has a different date of entry into the GHA. So immediately affected, I think there's only 3 people that have actually completed their 4 years to date. But that doesn't mean that the others won't achieve it. The minute they achieve their 4 years, they will be given their contracts too.
Well, in the joint statement that you issued with the GHA, you say that this has been a negotiation that has gone on for many months. Cynics might say that it was resolved remarkably quickly once the issue had been made public.
Well, I wish it had been remarkably quickly. These negotiations have been taking place for, well, over 7 months. And they've been, I would say, monthly meetings, but that wouldn't be accurate. It's been more like fortnightly and sometimes weekly meetings with the GHA management, with the Minister for Health, and with the Chief Minister himself. And obviously there's also been meetings with the Health Minister with individual cases that have wanted to put their case to him themselves. So we've been meeting on a regular basis, and negotiations have been ongoing for quite a while. I'm not here to convince anybody who has been able to achieve it at the end. I'm just glad to be able to say that it has been achieved and that these people can now breathe easy. And likewise, so can I, because going home at the end of seeing such an emotional case every day is no fun for us either.
The City Fire Brigade said an electrical fault was the probable cause of a fire which caused damage to a flat in Varelbeg Estate. The blaze on Sunday evening was brought under control quickly, with no other dwellings directly affected. No injuries or casualties were reported, although a couple of residents were treated for smoke inhalation by paramedics at the scene. The emergency services evacuated residents from the surrounding flats, which suffered from smoke logging. They returned home after the fire was put out, with tenants of the affected flat relocated for the night. Roadblocks were put into force by the RGP to control traffic flow in the area whilst the incident was being dealt with. Around 140 runners from the UK, including Royal Marines and Superman actor Henry Cavill, will be joining Gibraltarians on a historic rock run to celebrate the Marines' 350th anniversary. The event will be part of a series of celebrations and socials in Gibraltar, which will raise funds for the Royal Marines Charitable Trust Fund. The event starts on Saturday, the 25th of October. Jonathan Sacramento reports.
It's a big anniversary for one of the most famous elite regiments in the world, and they've chosen to celebrate it in Gibraltar to mark the historic attachment the Royal Marines have to the Rock. The celebrations have been in the works for some months now, but as the moment approaches, they're gathering momentum.
We're coming out here predominantly on the 24th to the 26th of October, and it's pure celebration. It's about the Royal Marines' 350th birthday, but more importantly, it's about our history with Gibraltar.
It's a weekend full of events, with the main one being the Royal Marines exercising their right to the freedom of the city with a Sunday parade. But it all kicks off on Saturday morning with a rock run, involving hundreds of locals, Marines and other visitors from the UK.
If you want to come and watch, it all starts in Casemates, with the Royal Marine Band performing. There will be 200 odd people waiting to run, being warmed up, so that'll be a fun time. But then we're going to parade behind the band down Main Street to the Piazza, which is where the start line is. And hopefully I've got 2 Royal Marine buglers to do a cavalry charge, which will be the sign that we're setting off.
We're looking for a King Edward VIII box for a number of years now, and it just so happens that we found one in the back of a garden in Henley-on-Thames. So what my plan is to go to Henley-on-Thames to recover this box. The Royal Marines barracks is based in Henley-on-Thames, and they're going to rescue it for us because the box weighs about 420 kilos. So they're going to rescue Teddy for us. I'm going over on the 16th of October for them to formally hand the box over to me, and then Trident Logistics are going to bring the box back to Gibraltar.
And the Marines are going to actually pull the box as part of the parade so that Gibraltar sees its new box. It'll then go back to workshops for full refurbishment, which it requires. On the day itself, we're then sponsoring, in conjunction with Interserve, the Best Dressed Marine competition and the Postal Walk, which is a bit more sedate than running up the rock work at full pelt.
The run will be graced by the presence of an A-list celebrity. Henry Cavill, Superman himself, whose brother is a Royal Marine. They'll be racing each other to the top of the rock.
Our ambassador is Henry Cavill. Everybody knows him as Superman. But the reason he's our ambassador is that his brother is a serving Royal Marine. So he's a Lieutenant Colonel, and my understanding, having spoken to them, is they're going to race each other up the rock. So that will be interesting. The Royal Marines versus Superman. How's that going to turn out? Don't know yet. So that's going to be good. So Henry is going to be with us for the whole weekend. So he's going to take part in the run. He's going to attend the reception, which His Excellency is going to host at the convent on Saturday evening. And then he's also going to attend the Royal Marine Band concert in St Michael's Cave. But the big thing for the Royal Marines, the formal bit, all of this is fun. But on Sunday morning we have a Freedom Parade, which is going to start at the Royal Marine Memorial in Ocean Village and finish at the convent. And that will be an opportunity for the Royal Marines to exercise the freedom of Gibraltar.
Tickets can be bought on the charity's website, rmctf.org, and more information can be found there as well.
And that's all from News Review this evening. For the rest of this week's news, you can head over to our website, gbc.gi/news. Thank you very much for watching. From the team, good night.